Please join me in welcoming Mr. Steven Altman.
Let me first say, whenever I give a speech, my wife always encourages me to try to be funny. And I got to say, Dean Cole, that following your speech is going to be difficult for a couple reasons. One, you're going to be a lot more funnier than I was. But two, I had like 3 pages on sunscreen. So that's right out the door. It truly is an honor to be able to address you today. First, let me start by saying congratulations. It feels good, doesn't it? I know the excitement that each of you must be feeling on this well-earned day, and I'll do my best to both be encouraging and brief so that you can get on with the celebration you also deserve. It's been 23 years since I graduated from USD Law School. It's amazing how quickly time has flown by. I can remember law school graduation well. I remember how happy and excited I was. I remember how proud my parents were. And I remember how much thinner I was back then. But to be honest, I can't remember who our commencement speaker was or what he or she said. Today, I want to share with you some of the experiences I had, some of the lessons that I learned since graduating. And I suspect 23 years from now, each of you will remember much about this exciting day and this great milestone you've achieved. And although you may not remember the name of the very handsome, wise, and humble person that addressed you during your graduation ceremony, my hope is that you'll remember some of the things that I said. For a small number of you, the careful plans that you've laid out will happen exactly as you plan. For most of you, though, the path you travel will have many forks, detours, and obstacles. Sometimes, in order to move forward, you will need to move sideways, and sometimes even back up. You'll be required to constantly adjust your game plan, and you'll need to keep an open mind and be willing to take on new challenges to accomplish your goals. As you find your way, you'll experience both failure and success. It'll be your job to learn not only from the successes, but as importantly, from the failures. The path that I traveled required my plans change frequently. I played college basketball, and my plan at a very young age was to become a professional basketball player. It wasn't until my junior year at Northern Arizona University that I came to the conclusion that if my grade point average was significantly higher than my points per game average, that the NBA wasn't going to be calling me anytime soon. Before law school, I decided I was going to be a veterinarian until I took my first science class. Then I was going to be a computer whiz until I took my first computer science course. I changed my major 4 or 5 times before I decided to major in criminal justice, primarily because I didn't have to take any more math or science. With the criminal justice degree, my plan was to become a parole or probation officer. At about that time, I became very good friends with a professor there, and he knew that I really didn't have a passion for the path I had chosen and recommended I try law school. My parents were very supportive of this, meaning they were willing to pay for another 3 years of school. I never envisioned myself as a lawyer, but I decided to try law school because it gave me 3 more years to figure out what I wanted to do with my life. I enrolled at the University of San Diego in 1983, really not having a clue whether I could become a lawyer, and if so, what kind of lawyer I could be. When I met my law school classmates, I remember wondering myself whether I was as smart as they were and whether I could succeed in law school. I worked hard, but I remember having no clue whether I passed my first tests or whether I failed them during the first semester. I have to say, I was shocked when I got my first semester grades. I had done very well in all my courses except one. Ironically, my worst grade by far was in criminal law. After receiving my first semester grades, I became very excited. After having changed my career plan so many times, I now knew that I had a career plan that was fail-safe. I would work hard and become a successful lawyer in a law firm. After graduating law school in '86, I went to work for the largest firm in San Diego. My new plan was right on track. Then, in October of 1987, about 1 year after I became a lawyer, the stock market experienced what is still today the largest ever one-day percentage decline. It's now known as Black Monday. After Black Monday, many people saw their investments lose money and businesses were seriously impacted. Unless you specialized in bankruptcy law, there was much less work for the young attorneys in the firm. Less work for the firm meant less hours to bill. Less billable hours meant trouble for the associates at the law firm, and some were let go. I soon realized that I needed to once again change my plans, so I began to search for other opportunities. At that time, I had lost interest in working for a law firm, decided I wanted to be an in-house lawyer. I interviewed with 2 companies in San Diego, and I would have gone with the first company that offered me a job. One was a well-established clothing company, and the other was a small wireless startup that my wife Lisa, also a USD Law School grad, was working for as actually the first attorney there. I thought both my interviews went well, and I was just waiting for the phone to ring, and I was going to take the first job. Fortunately, the clothing company offered the position to someone else. In 1989, less than 2 years after Black Monday, I took a risky job with that small wireless company called Qualcomm, and the rest is history. And by the way, about 1 year after I started working for Qualcomm, the clothing company went bankrupt. So oftentimes luck, you'll find out, is as important as skill. Somewhat like the economic downturn that I experienced in 1987, we are again in uncertain economic times. Undoubtedly, today's environment will create new and unexpected challenges for many of you. What you had planned or envisioned for yourself may be entirely different from where you end up. And while there are certainly challenges you face as a new law school graduate about to begin your career, don't lose sight of the fact that there are also many, many opportunities. In fact, what I've learned is that the biggest opportunities in life are those that we never expect. I never started out with the intent of being the president of Qualcomm. For me, looking for a career opportunity during a challenging time and being open to the unexpected eventually led me to an amazing, meaningful, and personally satisfying career. Be open, be adaptable, be willing to take some risk, and keep positive, and you'll have a much easier time identifying and maximizing the many opportunities that are out there.